Recording in progress.
Welcome everybody to Zentangle Explore. I am so excited that you're here with me today to draw really slowly. This work is based on the work of Amy Miracle over at Mindful Art Studio, and she is starting a 6 week, is it 6 weeks? No, maybe it is 6 weeks. I don't know. It's an inchy challenge where you draw on little 2-inch pieces of paper, and she gives you prompts, and it's free and it's super inspiring. And I highly recommend it. I did it last year and I really enjoyed it. It's really great for getting your creative juices working and going in new directions. So that's coming up September 6th, she starts, and you can find that at mindfulartstudio.com. And this is Zentangle Explore, and we are going to explore a Zentangle pattern. Today it's one of my own creating, and I'm super excited to share it with you. And this is all about exploring. So that means not doing exactly what I'm doing, but doing exactly what you want to be doing. So if you have any what if questions in your mind while you're going along, like, oh, Esther's doing this, but I kind of want to do that. What would happen if I did that? Yes, do that and do more of that. And so the end point is, we don't know. It's an exploration. So whatever you want to explore is what shows up. And if it looks absolutely nothing like what happens in my exploration or somebody else's exploration, then you are doing it exactly right. And I want you to own every single mark that you put on the page, because it is your very own mark. And nobody else in the whole world could make one exactly like you. So we are going to do some meditating, and then we're going to draw on these little pieces of paper, or whatever size you want to draw on, with a pen, and whatever pen you want to draw with, and can be color. You could use paint, you could use markers, you could use highlighters, you can draw with whatever you want. And we're going to draw for some time, and it's going to be delightful. So let's settle in for a little brief meditation to just calm our energies down and allow us to go slower. So get nice and comfortable in your seat. Perhaps your feet are on the floor. Perhaps your hands are in your lap. Or maybe your hands are on the table in front of you. Wherever they are, just allow them to be. And just connect with your breath. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Take a moment to notice any sounds that are in your environment or in my environment. And just have a moment of gratitude that your ears are working and you can hear things. And maybe just find your breath wherever it is in its cycle of breathing. Perhaps it's the inhale. Perhaps the stop at the top. Maybe it's the exhale or the stop at the bottom. Wherever it is just perfect. Allow it to be. Perhaps begin to notice where else you can notice your breath in your body. Maybe you can hear it. Maybe you sense it in your nostrils. Coolness at the edge of your nostrils. Maybe you can feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest, back, or belly. Just notice the gentle awareness and focus on what those sensations feel like. for you in this moment. Allow that breath to continue to cycle. If any thoughts come into your mind, just come back to the breath. Perhaps feel your feet and just notice them connected, or your seat where you're sitting. And just gently notice those connections while you continue to breathe. Allow the sensations of connection to ground you to the space, to bring your energy 100% into the space that we're in right now. Allow anything that has to be done, any tabs in your brain, to just shutter themselves. They will wait for us. They will wait for you. Like closing a book, the characters just wait for you to get back until they continue doing what they're doing. We can allow all the to-dos in our life to be just like that. As we take some time to nourish our bodies with our breath and our gentle awareness of how connected we truly are to each other, to the universe, to the space around us, and to the beautiful earth beneath our feet. Just allow. Breathe and allow. When you're ready, perhaps deepen your breath or bring some gentle movement into your body in whatever way feels most comfortable to you. So much love and attention and gentle care come fully back to this present moment that you're in individually and that we're creating collectively in this energetic space. Knowing that your breath will continue to be your constant companion throughout the rest of this day, through this session of drawing, peaceful gathering, and throughout your life. Always available for you to stop and notice and come back to ground yourself with just a little focus, a little gentle kindness to yourself in this moment, in any moment. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come fully back present now. Welcome everybody. I'm going to change my view. My cat joined me for the meditation, just lovely. Okay, so this is a tangle. I've been thinking about spaces lately and spaces between spaces and negative spaces that create form. And so this little idea came to me yesterday as I was just popped into my mind. I thought, oh my gosh, that would be so fun to draw. I'm not sure what I'm calling it. Today we're going to call it Wafflz because I don't really know what it's going to be called. And I want you to notice that I picked up a sepia pen. I don't know if you can see that, it's brown. And I just decided that no mistakes in Zentangle, so I'm going to go with that color. So grab a piece of paper, a little piece of paper. I'm using these little watercolor pieces, and you can definitely draw more than one of these, which is why I have more than one. You can choose any pen. I'm actually going to go wild. I'm going to choose my 08 today. Not because it's the right pen to draw with, but just because that's what I feel like drawing with. This is 0, 1. You could draw with a black Sharpie. You could draw with whatever you want. And it's going to be nice and bold, so you can really see what I'm doing. So this is a little brain bendy, but don't you worry about it. In the first 2 minutes, you'll be just fine. So we're going to imagine, use our imaginations, and we're going to imagine a grid, like a tic-tac-toe board. And this is a double-walled grid. And perhaps we'll start this way, which might be easier for people. We're going to start with a box. I'm going to make mine kind of big so you can really see. It doesn't have to be a square. It can be any box you want to make. Just draw a box, even the box your pen wants to make, which may be different than the box that's in your head, and that is perfectly okay. And now I'm going to draw the opposite 3 sides of that, and I'm not going to draw the full thing. You can do that later if you want to, but just to draw what was in my mind, this Wafflz pattern, we're going to do it this way and leave it open. So let's call that the upside. And now the right side. Same thing, just 3/4 of a box. And if you want, here's a little trick. You can turn your tile each time. So now if I turn my tile counterclockwise, excuse me, and back to the top again. And so I'm always drawing this in the same direction, which becomes quite easy and comfortable. And then I turn my tile, we're back at the top. Let's draw these boxes really, really slowly. That is the key part of this class. No matter what you create, you're drawing it super slowly. You are doing it exactly right. So now we have all of the edges, and I'm going to draw on this right-hand side. I'm going to add a corner, which are just aura lines. An aura just mimics what came before. And this is only 2 sides. 2 sides of the box. I can rotate my tile to the next blank corner that's on my right-hand side. And draw my line, my aura lines really slowly. Just taking a breath, allowing whatever is showing up to show up. This is just an idea. It's just a suggestion, just a light guideline to get our pens moving on the page really slowly. The 3rd corner. I even needed to take a breath and come back to drawing slowly, and that's okay. Sometimes we get really excited about what we're drawing, or we're nervous, or just lose track, and we have to come back to slowness so gently, just like we do with our breath. I'm drawing those corners in. And there it is. And it's kind of magical because it creates these little kind of visual dots in the corners that aren't actually there. Maybe you can see that, maybe you can't. It's not required, so don't worry about it if you can't. And so that's what we're doing. And you can draw any part of this first. You can draw it smaller, you can draw it bigger. You can start with the left-hand corner and move around and draw the center last. Or you can continue to Rotate your tile and draw it the way we drew it. It's the best for the brain. Whatever you're doing, do it nice and slowly. You can overlap these shapes. You can decide to take this idea all the way across your page with many more boxes. You can decide that your boxes are going to be circles. Or maybe you decide that they're going to be triangles or random blobs. It's the spaces between that we're focused on, not the ultimate shape that it creates. Just breathing. Very slowly adding ink to the page. This class has zero to do with art. Although art is created, not the purpose. And the purpose is to put ink on the page with gentle awareness. And maybe even gratitude for this quiet time of drawing really slowly. Often in life, we're encouraged to rush around, finish this, finish that, produce this, produce that. And it just feels very delicious to me to have a time and space where I'm asked to go slowly, and in fact encouraged to go slowly, with nothing else to do. But draw slow, 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 smart. And given permission and encouragement to draw whatever lines I want to draw. Yes, you have this prompt that I've given you with this tangle. And it's a suggestion. What you do with it is up to you. How it shows up on your page is up to you. I've been noticing, thinking about habitual things that I do in my life, habits. And sometimes I feel as if I don't have choices. When I'm really honest with myself, I think about all of my habits. I start to realize that every single one is a choice that I'm making. How I hold my pen is my choice. Whether I go fast or slow is my choice. The color I'm using is my choice. Showing up in this space, especially for the first time, is a choice. Coming back to this space over and over again is a choice. How you hold your toothbrush is a choice. How you tie your shoes is a choice. And so I find that when I really tune in to all of the choices that I'm making. I recognize that I make thousands of choices a day, thousands. I am abundantly choosing every moment. When I come back to that, especially when I'm feeling like I don't have a choice, it's very freeing and empowering to realize that I have a ridiculous number of choices. And it helps me to find new choices where I didn't think I had any. I'm going to throw a little wild shape into the mix here and try this with circles. Not quite the same. When we're talking about spaces, it creates lovely spaces. Oh, this pattern is delighting me. Thank you for coming to draw with me. Maybe this pattern will help you to think about the spaces in your life a little differently. Physical spaces, mental spaces, emotional spaces, spiritual spaces. So many spaces that we inhabit, relationship spaces. Everyone so precious and filled with choices. Each of those spaces creating something meaningful in our lives. And maybe spaces that aren't as meaningful anymore and maybe could be discarded. And it's all of our choice. Choose. Drawing off camera is not so lovely. Your interpretation of this pattern is all yours. Something that you can own 100% and just allow it to be however it is. Drop very slowly. And if you want to draw behind like I am, and you haven't done that before, you just know that whatever lines you already have there are objects. You stop and you go behind. You just imagine the object that you're now drawing, the new object. Imagine where it shows up in the parts that you can see it. And it's not necessary to do it perfectly. The eyes are really, really good at following and making up lines that aren't even there to make things that make sense visually. So if you even do it sort of right from a, I don't know, architectural perspective, it will be just perfect. If you think you're drawing slowly, try to slow down just a little bit more. See what happens. This class is fully experiential, so it's not about what we're creating, it's about the process of creating it. And just allow your imagination to take you wherever it wants to go. Follow along blindly in this very safe space, ink on paper. And just notice that if there's any judgment about what's coming on the page, that it's your choice, because your pen isn't judging you, your hand isn't judging you, no one in this space is judging you. I am certainly not judging you. So maybe choose to embrace whatever is happening for you with gentle awareness and kindness, gratitude and compassion, self-compassion. And as you're going along, drawing slowly, perhaps new things will want to emerge. Like they are in my little exploration here. Just following the lines and whatever comes into your imagination, knowing that the only rules that are there are the ones that you create. Okay, I'll show you what I have here. Time just flies when you're drawing lines really slowly. Here is my progression. It got wild at the end. All kinds of fun things. All right. Switch my camera. Thank you all for joining me for Zentangle Explore. I hope you come back and draw with me again, either live or on the replay. And if you'd like to donate, you can donate to these classes as free offerings at paypal.me/eternalpossibility. And you can find my work at eternalpossibility.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/eternalpossibility. So I hope you continue to draw. The idea is that you take this pattern and you draw it lots and lots of times. gosh, reflection lots and lots of times throughout the week. So you can do all sorts of crazy things with it. You can turn it into little pieces of mosaic or turn it into cards or little business cards, hand them out to your friends. You can put art on envelopes. Super exciting, lots of options. All right, bye everybody.